Thank you. Mr. Olson, as a legal matter, are violent acts and threats of violence protected by the First Amendment?
Senator, no. Violent acts and threats of violence are not protected.
Are they crimes? Indeed, sometimes federal crimes?
It can be both state and federal crimes, Senator, yes.
And if violence or threats of violence occur at a school board meeting, is there any difference there from other locations?
Not from the perspective of whether or not those acts would be considered crimes under either state or federal law.
It's the conduct itself, not the location of the conduct, that determines the offense, correct?
That's correct. As a general matter, that's right.
Ms. Sanborn, how long has the FBI coordinated with local communities regarding terrorism threats?
Sir, I don't have the specifics for you, but the JTTF, for example, was stood up in 1980. So talking with communities and our partners for years. Yes, sir.
And that includes domestic terrorism threats?
Absolutely. As I said, JTTF was created out of a domestic terrorism threat issue that we were dealing with.
And all 94 U.S. attorneys' offices were tasked with setting up a local group to gather situational awareness regarding terrorist threats, correct? Years ago.
My understanding, yes. Defer to Mr. Olson to confirm whether I'm correct or not.
Tell me what predication is required to open an investigation of a domestic organization as a domestic terrorist group.
Sir, we do not open cases on organizations. We open cases on individuals. Obviously, we would build out if they were conspiring or coordinating with others as we went about the course of our investigation, but we do not open cases on domestic groups.
So if you wanted to send a confidential informant or an undercover FBI agent into a domestic terrorist organization, you would not be able to proceed unless you had specific evidence giving you predication as to specific individuals in that organization.
Correct. And I would add to it that the bottom line is we have to have an authorized purpose to collect the data we're seeking to collect. And that stems from being tied to allegations of a federal crime or interest in national security. And
Mr. Olson, with respect to the January 6th assault, will the Department of Justice follow the evidence upstream to funders, organizers, and instigators not present at the Capitol assault if justified? Or put another way, does the Department of Justice have any policy or reticence not to follow the evidence regarding upstream funders, organizers, and investigators?
Senator, as the Attorney General discussed last week in his speech, the department will follow the evidence wherever it leads, and that's consistent with the direction that I have in my role as the head of the National Security Division.
And it's not uncommon in looking at a organized or multi-defendant event for the department to begin with prosecutions, as Attorney General Garland suggested, of low-level people, whether it's street dealers in a narcotics organization or rioters and trespassers in the January 6th assault, correct?
Correct. In fact, I began my career as a federal prosecutor here in Washington, D.C., and that is the standard approach that's taken in all manner of large conspiracy cases.
And it's customary to do that first in order to obtain further evidence against upstream organizers or kingpins, correct?
Correct. And that work can be painstaking and requires a degree of patience and hard work to follow the evidence wherever it goes.
The department is following that standard with respect to the January 6th investigation.
That's correct.
Thanks very much. My time is up.